At 7:42, KNEB News Extra is next, and brought to you today by Jolliffe Funeral Home. And here's Kevin.
Thank you, Dennis, and good morning, everyone. Our guests today are Jim Spencer and Skip Lessert, and we're going to talk about the High Plains Auto Club Father's Day Rock and Roll Classic. Big car show coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend. And Jim, you're kind of running the show here. You're the chair. This goes both Friday night and all day Saturday, right?
Yes, it does. We have a big kickoff barbecue on Friday night, and all the cars come in and park around the Civic Center. That same night, we have an ice cream social, plus we have a ballad that plays a lot of rock and roll music, and people just get together, and visit. And all the cars will be at the Civic Center. People can come out and see those cars, and they'll all be sitting around there. And we're expecting about 300 cars this year, so it's going to be a real good event. And thanks to the Civic Center, they put on a real good thing for us.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And then Saturday, you have a lot of activities scheduled as well, right?
Yep, Saturday morning we kicked that thing off with a parade right down 10th Street in Gering, and then they all end up out to Five Rocks, and we park on the grass out there. We have vendors, about 6 vendors in there for food for people who come in. All the spectators that come can eat right out there. And Saturday night, after the show and shine, the show and shine's from 10 to 4:30, and then we go back to the Civic Center and have a big banquet and give out the awards. And one of the big things on Friday night, which I should mention, is we have a cruise. And it goes all the way around Scotts Bluff. And there'll probably be 250 cars in this cruise. And if you've never seen that, it's amazing. Everywhere they stop, it's a big car show. And the spectators just gather out there, and these cars are all coming down the road, and it's quite an event. It's good to see.
Yeah. Now you said 250 cars. Now again, this is June 17th and 18th. Not this weekend, folks, but next weekend.
That's right.
But 250 cars, so that has to be cars from all over.
It is. We have cars coming from 5-state area. We have cars coming from Lincoln, Nebraska, Beatrice, Nebraska, Colorado Springs, all the way up into South Dakota, way up north in Wyoming. But a lot of cars coming to this show, and a lot of people put this on their calendar because they just love this car show, and it's because of the Five Rocks and probably the Civic Center, because it's an excellent place to have a car show. And when you can have 300 cars parked around the Civic Center, and people can walk in there, and look at them. You can't drive in there because they won't let them in. Only the cars that go in there. And we don't let dogs in there or anybody on bicycles because, bicycles can scratch a car pretty easy. But when you can walk around through the Civic Center and look at all those beautiful automobiles, that's quite exciting. And to bring that into Gering, Nebraska, I think that's a real plus for the valley.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the type of cars you guys have. Well, let's skip here. Muscle cars, all kinds of cars, right?
Oh, Kevin, yeah. If it's a car, we'll have it in the car show. It's we have muscle cars, we have antique cars, we have what's called resto mods, and we have restored classics, and there's even motorcycles that come to the show, and it's a good show. We have a lot of fun, and probably the main thing that gets me is that I like is the people. The people that come to this show are just car people, and we really have a good time with it.
Yeah, and they open up their hoods, and you can see the types of engines that are in it, and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, they're pretty. Everybody that I know of that never met is really good about showing you their cars and talking about their cars, and most of them sit with their hoods up and their trunks open, and it's quite a thing to see.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'd love to see what my uncle's done with his '64 Mustang, and I'm gonna have to maybe after this, I may have to give him a call this weekend and ask him what did you do with that '64 Mustang. But anyway, that's fantastic. So let's talk about some of your sponsors here that you've got.
Yeah, the car show would not be a success without our sponsors. And High Plains Budweiser is a great sponsor. Greg's Auto Body and Paint's a great sponsor. Ron's Towing. These guys come forward every year. First State Bank and Budget Tire. Matches Chevrolet in Morrill and Lessert Insurance in Morrill. And we got KVUH and KOTA Television. Chalupa, Holyoke, Snyder, Chalupa, Longoria, and Kishiyama. Attorneys at law, plus we have a KOAQ and our family radio stations, and big sponsor Halburn Napa Auto Supply is a great sponsor. And then probably one of our biggest sponsors is Scottsbluff and Gering Tourism Committee. They're a really good sponsor.
Yeah.
And you know, the purpose of our car show is not to make a bunch of money. Our money that we make goes for scholarships for kids. And these scholarships go to these boys, and I have to mention one thing. One of the boys that has our scholarship right now, and he came back and renewed it again. He's in an automotive program, and I believe that's in Hastings.
Yes.
And he's on the dean's list, and he's been on the dean's list. And every year we give out these 2 scholarships, and we'd like, if someday maybe we get up to 3. But that's the purpose of this, to get kids interested in cars and have them go to school and learn about cars, and that's the purpose for that car show.
Yeah.
So we're not there to try and make a bunch of money. We're there to just give the money back out. We're a non-profit organization, and that's how we run it.
All right. Well, you guys have a big awards banquet on Saturday evening, and kind of talk about that. That's a pretty special awards banquet, isn't it?
That's a very special awards banquet, Kevin. And the couple gals in our car club have figured out a way to take all the ballots that come in by about 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon and have this whole thing all done in time for our 6 o'clock awards banquet. One of the key things of the awards banquet is we have Larry and June Lacey and their son, Larry Lacey, and they put on a picture program through their computer deal, and the 5 screens down at the Civic Center, the cars are all displayed on those screens all during the banquet. And then when we start giving out the awards, every award winner that is announced, his car is up on those 5 screens while we're announcing the awards. And that's a big deal. You know, we've had some other car shows that have tried to copy that, and nobody's has it figured out yet. But it's one of the real drawing cards we have for guys to come to the car show. And one of the other things is the Gering Civic Center. You know, we have 2 sit-down meals, one on Friday evening called our barbecue, and then the awards banquet on Saturday, and that's very impressive.
Yeah. And well, of course, Kellers always do a wonderful job over there, and I'm sure you're working with Carla and everything to get to promote this, and the fact you've got 300 cars, that says a lot there. And I would imagine there's a number of cars, not only from Scottsbluff and Gering, but right around the Panhandle in this, right?
Well, there's a lot of cars right here in Scottsbluff. And a lot of these cars, I'm sure we don't get them all, because I see them running around every day, and they're not the car show. But in the valley, we're pretty lucky in this valley to have as many street rods and classic cars as we have. There's a lot of them around.
Yeah.
And we love to have them come out. I mean, people love to see these older cars that are fixed up, and they love to look at the engines, and they love to hear the pipes, and just, it's great to be a part of that. I have to say, I love doing it, and so does Skip. And if a guy can put a little rubber down on the road once in a while, that's good.
Yeah. All right. All right. We'll be back to talk more with these guys right after this 30-second timeout.
Comforting, personal.
All right. People still get in if they want?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
people can cars
Just
get
call
in.
you guys at any of these numbers
You
here.
bet. And they
Or the
can-
website.
We're up to Saturday morning.
We need to talk about that website too.
Yeah,
Right
okay.
on
We'll
there.
talk about the website and these numbers here.
If they can do an application right on the website.
Yeah.
We also offer advanced planning as a continuation to our services. That's Jolliffe
Yeah, I've been
Funeral
faxing
Home. Our family
entry
serving
forms
your
to people
family
all
for
over,
3
right?
generations.
Emailing them.
All right, we are back on News Extra, and we're talking about the big High Plains Auto Club show coming up next weekend, June 17th and June 18th, over in Gering at the Gering Civic Center in the Five Rocks Amphitheater. And if you've been listening to this and going, man, maybe I've got a car that I could put in the show and so forth, and kind of show off, how do they go and do that, Skip?
Well, they can go onto our website, and it's www.highplainsautoclub.com, and they can get their entry form right off of the website, or they can call Jim Spencer at 247-2291 or Jerry Schaefer at 436-2623. And either one of those guys, if you happen to know somebody in High Plains Auto Club, contact them. we all can get you in the car show, and boy, you're welcome to come out. It will be a really fun event, and you'll be back year after year.
Yeah. Real quickly, how many people in the High Plains Auto Club? And it's been going for a long time, right?
Actually, High Plains Auto Club was formed back in the late 80s, and right now the membership is about 80 people. And so we have a very active club. We had a meeting last night, and there was approximately 50 people at our meeting, which I think is extremely well for a club to have that many people come to a meeting.
Yeah. All right. Good deal. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Anything else we missed?
No, but we sure appreciate you having us on here this morning. People need to come out and see this car show. It's a great car show. Bring your car out, get involved with it. I know if you ever come and enter, you'll come back again. It's a great show.
All right, very good. Jim Spencer, Skip Lessert, here with the High Plains Auto Club, talking about the big Father's Day Classic, big rock and roll classic auto club car show coming up next weekend, the 17th and 18th. Back to you, Dan.